Hello out there in internet land. Welcome to the P&J F1 Formula 1 chat. Episode number 5. We're going to be talking about the Spanish Formula 1 Grand Prix that was on late last night, early this morning, Australian time. I'm your host, Phil Lamington, and you can't have a P&J chat without the J. And here is my co-host, JB. JB, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm here. The J in the P&J sandwich.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I went for that for the title.
Excellent.
Yeah, I know, I'm highly original.
Brilliant.
So, last night was the Spanish Formula 1 race. It was kind of formulaic for most of it.
It
Kind of
was
procedural.
pedestrian. Like we said that about Portimao, but this was even more so.
I think that is inherently a problem with the track, though. The track really isn't.
It never has been a overtaking, I feel like, the first chicane's it's your only spot, and even then it's like too open. It's not like Monza's first chicane where it's real tight.
Yeah.
Catalonia's is like open, so it's like a bit more butt puckering to get through there.
Well, the only other real overtaking place you've got is going through the DRS zone to turn 10.
Which now is not a hairpin, is a sweeper.
Which I don't mind it being a sweeper, because you've got the hairpin, and then it goes into that really crappy chicane.
Mm-hmm.
That in the game, if you're just a pixel too wide, it just sends you into the shadow realm for no apparent reason. So now, being a sweeper, we're not going to have so much of an issue with it in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this track needs a reformat or what. Or if they need to change that last corner to the...
Well, I think it was... it was one YouTuber. I watched his video yesterday. I can't remember who it was. But they got on Twitter and said, send me your ideas on how we can improve the track.
Yeah.
And most of them were photos of nuclear bombs being dropped on the track.
Only in that one section. I saw that, yeah. Only on that chicane.
But I think that chicane needs to go. I think
I think you can get away with a sweeper, like a Parabolica style corner there, but tighten up the first chicane so it's more like Monza's.
Yeah.
Because that's it. Like, that is literally the only overtaking spot left on that track now.
Yeah.
Now that they've widened and fastened turn 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a very rather pedestrian race, actually. Once it was only, 2 or 3 laps after the safety car, and the field was just spread right out. And it's like, well, it's like Monaco, but faster. Like, no one was really challenging anyone.
Well, towards the end, it did get very spicy in the midfield, like fighting over 1 point.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting to watch. But we will get to that. So, Max. Lewis Hamilton won the race for Mercedes. Then Max Verstappen came second. I believe Max Verstappen actually got the fastest lap.
Yeah, he did after his second stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valtteri Bottas came third. This was a really good showing for Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. He did really well in this race.
Both Ferraris did really well in this race.
Same goes for Perez. Like, Perez qualified, 7th or something. He was down the order a bit. And so he was 5th.
Yeah,
He qualified 5th.
Yeah, he had another more solid outing, I guess. He didn't drop a million places like usual.
But
he also wasn't... Yeah, but he also wasn't the tail gunner that Red Bull want him to be yet.
Yeah.
He's still getting into that role.
Yeah, he's still trying to find his feet in the team.
Yeah.
Daniel Ricciardo came 6th.
His best drive in the McLaren this year.
He did get into trouble, though.
Did he?
Yeah, I can't remember what lap, because they didn't show us in the highlights and I didn't take notes while the race was on. But there was one lap where he's driving down the main straight and he's just weaving like he's
Ah,
trying to
yeah.
heat up his tyres.
Yeah, he got a black and white flag for that.
No, Norris got a black and white flag.
Norris did the same thing, did he?
No, Norris. I'll get to Norris in a second, but Ricciardo was weaving backwards and forwards, and he got a direct message from Michael Massey saying, stop it. That's it. No more of this. You drive straight unless you're defending.
Right.
But he had a really strong showing, making it to 6th.
Regardless, yes.
Carlos Sainz came 7th. Again, solid showing.
Yeah, he had good pace.
Yeah.
He had good pace, and, him and Lando battled for a few laps. It was good to see.
Norris got 8th. Now, the Norris incident, I've got to look at my notes here. This is how ridiculous this is. Lap 50. Carlos Sainz goes to pass Lando Norris, and at the last second, Norris veered to the right.
Ah, yes, he did.
And they
Very late.
Yes.
He wasn't the only one that got in trouble for that. I think, was it Gasly?
Yeah, Gasly did it
Did
on
the same thing
lap
as well.
63.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very dangerous. That's, as Martin Brundle would put it, is how aeroplane crashes happen.
He said that, actually.
Yeah.
Then ninth place was Esteban Ocon, Mr. Personality himself.
He had a solid drive considering. Yeah, him and Gasly actually did all right today.
Now, these next 4 to 5 people had an absolute humdinger. Gasly in 10th, Lance Stroll in 11th, Kimi Räikkönen in 12th, Sebastian Vettel in 13th, even George Russell in 14th, and Fernando Alonso all the way down in 17th, but he was a part of it too. Giovinazzi was 15th, Latifi was 16th, Mick Schumacher was 18th, Mazepin, as the internet is recognising him as.
Well, rightly so. I mean, I liked how Free Practice 1 started on my phone. Like, I came up with a notification. Free Practice 1 started. I got on Twitter like 10 minutes later, and there's a picture of him in the gravel trap.
Yep.
And it's like, well, he's back.
And Yuki Tsunoda DNF'd. He was out on lap 8 with an engine failure.
Mm-hmm. Unlucky. More swearing from him, I guess.
So
That's all he seems to do.
I'll come back to Mazepin a little bit later. For me, the drive of the day, I mean, it's easy to give it to Hamilton because he did really drive his ass off.
Yeah, he did.
Or Verstappen, because Verstappen drove really well as well.
Yep.
But then you've got Leclerc. Like, he outdrove that Ferrari.
Yeah, I wouldn't even disagree with you, to be honest. He was real impressive. He had a real good pace.
But then you look at the battle down between Gasly, Stroll, Raikkonen, Vettel, and Alonso.
That was a good race. Like, that was, that was for one championship point.
Yeah, and
And
I can't remember the last time that I saw 5 people going into one sequence of corners battling that close.
yeah, no, it was really good to watch. It was really good to watch. And, I guess it goes to show how valuable even 1 point is this year, because I think Stroll was the cork, or maybe it was Alonso actually. No, it was Alonso. He was the cork in that bottle for a while. He was actually producing himself a little DRS train behind him in those closing laps, which is why everyone was so bunched up. And then he wound up getting picked off eventually by pretty much everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, he did all right, but again, he really did not live up to the hype.
No, he was convincingly outdrove by his teammate Esteban Ocon. And, outdriven by both Alfa Romeos and both Aston Martins and one Williams, which isn't good. No, both Williams.
Both Williams.
Jesus. Yeah, okay, that's not a great day. It's not a great day in anyone's books.
Another person who I'm starting to really doubt the hype that was really heaped on him, Yuki Tsunoda. I mean, I know the engine failure is not his fault, but he had so much hype going into the season. I mean, we talked about how
Excited we were.
yeah,
Yep.
and he is just
Not.
to steal a line from the movie Days of Thunder. He looks like a monkey fuck at a football.
Yeah, I mean, small sample size because it's only been 5 races, but yeah, not quite. He's not quite. But remember, he's new to Formula One as well.
True.
He's a rookie like Schumacher and Mazepin, so
Yeah, but Schumacher and Mazepin don't have the equipment underneath them to be
competitive.
Yeah, to be competitive.
Yep.
And yet Schumacher is in that shitbox Haas. Like, he's doing all right. But Tsunoda, like, he's just... Is he getting too angry? Is that what it is? Like, is he too angry on track? Or is he just trying too hard and then gets angry at trying too hard and
Yeah,
dropping
he's
the ball?
he's probably bought into his own hype a little bit, to be completely honest. Yeah, Formula One media, all the people that covered Formula 2, Will Buxton and Natalie Pinkham and whoever else was there, I forget. Tom Clarkson.
Jeremy Clarkson.
No, Tom Clarkson. TC. Beyond the Grid F1 podcast. Cheap plug. Hyped the crap out of him. Like, they were all so excited to see this kid come up. He had talent. He was fast in Formula 2. He was quick, and now 5 races in, we haven't seen him be even remotely competitive. I think he had one good race.
Yeah, it was Bahrain where he got 1 point.
Yeah, so he had one all right race on debut, but he really hasn't. But I mean, I can't really say that Gasly's got the best out of that AlphaTauri yet either. It seems
Yeah,
like
but he got a point. He
Yeah.
has gotten a couple of point finishes.
yeah, but I think I wrote it down that I was actually really disappointed in the pace of the AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
It seemed faster last year. It seemed a lot faster last year, and it just doesn't seem as quick this year. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit of a letdown too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll be keen for a couple of stringing a few good performances together from here on out.
I think Tsunoda just really needs to calm down and get back to the basics.
Just drive the thing.
Just drive.
Just drive the thing. Don't worry about where you finish. Just keep your nose clean and okay, like rightly so. His engine died, so he didn't get a chance to shine today. But just, yeah, take a deep breath, calm down.
Yeah.
You know.
Like today was not actually his fault. It
Yeah.
wasn't his fault.
Yeah, but
Just wasn't his
I
day.
don't think he qualified that flash either.
No, he didn't.
So, you know, but
Then we get to the internet's favourite joke besides William's story. Makita Mazepin. What is this idiot's problem? I mean, seriously, what is this idiot's problem? Why is he...
can't drive.
Why is it... Like, in my notes here, lap 26, Lewis Hamilton is trying to pass Mazepin under blue flags, and Toto is on the blower to Michael Massey, the FIA
Racing
race
director.
official,
Yep.
telling him to get the blue flags on so we can get Mazepin out of the way because he will cost Lewis the race if he doesn't.
Yep.
And he even in practice, he was annoying. He
In
beat...
practice, he spun. In qualifying, he ruined Lando Norris's lap to
Yeah.
the point where he actually got, I think he got more penalty points on his license today. It's the second race in a row he's got penalty points on his license for just sheer shit driving, not using his head, not using his mirrors. He's got no talent. He's got money. He's got no talent. And meanwhile, Callum Ilot's stuck in Formula 2 still. You know?
Yeah.
The guy who was runner-up in the championship last year is fucking stuck in Formula 2 because this clown's got fucking Russian money. And this is the problem with Formula One at the moment. All these kids with money but no talent. Well, kids like Nick DeVries and Callum Wilot and Guan Yu Zhou and all these kids with talent are stuck in Formula 2 because they don't have the funding to make the jump to Formula 1.
Yeah.
And you get these talent attacks with daddy's credit card. I want to drive a Formula 1 car and make money. So,
Okay, well, how about we'll get back to the Spanish F1 in a sec. But here's a really good question that might, just for a bit of a deviation here. So we've got the list of drivers sitting in front of us right now, and you've just said there's a few drivers that deserve to be in Formula One.
yep.
What drivers from the grid this year
Yep.
would you like to see go bye-bye? Or not like to see, but it's time.
It's time to chop them. It's time to free up some fucking space.
The tribe has spoken. It's time to go and put out their fire.
Nicholas Latifi,
Yeah.
Antonio Giovinazzi,
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Vettel,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to say Ocon just yet. Yeah, I'll go with those guys. That gives us 3 spots.
Okay. Oh goody. As you can hear, I am rubbing my hands in glee. All right. Some of these
And
choices.
Mazepin, obviously. I didn't.
Oh,
I just thought that was obvious, but yeah, the kid's got no talent. The kid can't drive.
all right.
So we'll go 4. We got 1 out of Haas,
No, you had
1 out
5.
of Williams. Giovinazzi, I can't count. I can't count.
Well, here's my list of drivers who I think need to go. Mazepin,
Mhm.
Alonso, Latifi, Giovinazzi, and I'm going to cop hell for this, but Kimi, it's time to go, bro.
This is his last year anyway, isn't it?
Well, he hasn't announced it.
I'm pretty sure this is his last year on his contract.
I think Ocon needs to go. And yeah, I'm starting to think Vettel needs to go as well. Like so I've just picked out 7 drivers.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Here's
who
the
do,
question.
who do you replace them with?
Okay, well, obviously Callum Ilott,
Yeah.
Nick DeVries.
Yeah, I think he's in Formula E now.
I would bring back Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah. You reckon Nico Rosberg could still go? I reckon he could still go.
I don't think he wants to though.
I
He's
know
too
he
busy driving with his old
doesn't.
man.
He's too busy drinking fucking alcohol-free beer around Monaco. And
Yeah, with his old
and with
man.
his old man like a little bitch. I'm in Monaco, there's beer. I was like, what's the point of drinking beer if it's got no alcohol in it? Can I just say that openly? You know, Formula One's got a contest. You can win, I don't know if it's permanent or temporary, but you get like a pit. It's like a bar, but it's modelled like a pit wall, like a Formula One pit wall. But the only thing on tap it's got is that 0% alcohol beer.
Not when we get it.
It's just like, what the fuck? Like, if I want it, I'll just drink water out of the kitchen tap. Oh, come
Just go and buy some of that Cooper's from Big W.
come look at that.
Tip that in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Just come look at my cool bar with 0% alcohol beer, because you might as well just drink water.
I don't understand non-alcoholic beer. That defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
That's the shit you drink when you're sneakily trying to like have a big night, but not wake up with a hangover.
Or you're trying to have a big night, but you know you work at the mines and you've got to go back to work tomorrow, and they're doing the
Yeah.
blood and alcohol
Yeah, well,
test.
as long as you tip the bottle into a schooner glass so your mates don't catch on. Yeah, it's like, it's totally beer.
Yeah, it's it's homebrew.
Yeah.
It's homebrew.
Oh no, the shit looks like beer, but yeah, that's my rant for the day. 0% alcohol beer. What's the point of? Just have a Coke. Just have a Coke. Just have a water.
And you can find JB on Twitter.
At JBartley90. Send the hate.
Or leave a comment in the comments below.
That's it.
He'll reply to you after he's finished his non-alcoholic beer.
No, I'll reply to you after my alcoholic beer. It'll be more fun that way.
But, yeah, like Mazepin, Latifi, Stroll, they're only there because Daddy's got money.
Stroll.
Stroll is starting to
talent.
earn his place,
Yeah.
but he...
In the same way Ocon does, though.
But Stroll is still not a solid driver. He
No.
still is very immature.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's
He's getting better.
getting better. I mean, it's the same in both those teams. Ocon's out driving Alonso and Stroll's out driving Vettel. For as overrated as we think they both are, or
Yeah.
all four of them are. You know, the kids are all right.
But Mazepin, like,
Yeah.
get
That's-
off,
But
get
I'm
out
wa-
of the way. Get
Yeah.
off the track.
is it 12 points on their super license?
Is it 12 or 10?
I don't
thought
know.
it was, I
I'm
thought
just
it was 10.
I'm trying to figure out. I wonder how many he's lost. We're 5 races into the season, and I'm pretty sure he's already lost 4 or 6 points.
More importantly, how much hair does Gunther Steiner still have on his head?
I haven't seen him on camera all year, so that probably
That probably explains it. He's probably just
he's
sitting
probably
there.
walking around in a big hoodie. Just, I haven't seen him on camera all year. I doubt he's smiling much.
Well, I did see a video. I think it was a YouTuber named Tomo. I think it was Tomo. Shout out to Tomo, who did a video saying that he doesn't think that Haas are going to be owned by Gene Haas by the end of the year, and that Mazepin's old man's going to completely take over the team.
Oh, good.
But now, Tomo didn't say this in the video, but I think 10% of the team will be owned by Mazepin's mate, William Story. There we go. There's the bomb.
Wow.
We're going to see 560-pound energy on the grid again.
Overrated fake energy drink owner.
With an epic
Owning
beard.
overrated fake Formula One driver.
You know who William Story reminds me of? You ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
The caddy.
The caddy.
The homeless caddy.
Yeah.
That's who William Story looks like.
I'm sure he probably is a homeless caddy in his spare time with all the money he doesn't have.
He is 560 pounds.
Yeah.
Listen, they go, why won't anyone accept my bid for the team? Because it's 560 pounds, mate.
We'll have
That's barely a mechanic.
yeah. We'll have a fake Formula One team and a fake Formula One driver.
Shows up in like a cardboard cutout car.
Mazepin will still crash it.
If it's got wheels
He will
and
crash
a
it.
steering wheel, he can put it into the wall.
That's it.
Oh, he's going to have an absolute blast at
Think
Monaco.
back. Think back. Here's one for you. As we completely deviate away from the race.
Oh, that's right.
Can you think, off the top of your head, of a worse driver through their first 5 races in Formula One than Mazepin?
Maldonado.
But Maldonado won a Formula One race. I mean, he was terrible, but I mean, there's a lot of like, who was that Japanese driver that was terrible?
Which one?
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
Japan.
was it Taki Inoue?
yeah, Niue was crap.
Or oh god, there's so many of them.
2012 Romain Grosjean was pretty terrible.
That's true.
He did nearly kill Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Maldonado.
Yeah, Maldonado wasn't much better, but
Maldonado, again, to bring up the movie Days of Thunder. Maldonado reminds me of the pit stop where Tom Cruise's Cole Trickle pulls in, and Robert Duvall sits there and goes, "When you drive back out there, I want you to hit the pace car." He's like, hit the pace car? He's like, hit the pace car. Because you've hit every other damn thing on the track, and I want you to be perfect. That's Maldonado right there.
That's Maldonado. Yeah, well, that's
To a T.
that's Mazepin at the moment. I can't think of.
I'm actually waiting for Mazepin to hit the safety car.
I'm waiting for him to be suspended, and I don't think it's going to be long. I don't know how many penalty points you have to accrue, but he can't be far off already, and there were only 5 races into the season. He's going to be suspended for races.
I
Just
have a
sheer
sneaking
lack of talent.
I was sneaking that a lot of the top drivers like Hamilton and Max and Bottas and
Charles Leclerc came on the radio during practice. Remember? He spun out and he's like, Mazepin will never change. He drove past him in the gravel trap and he's like, Mazepin will never change. And it was just like, honestly, this kid's going to be suspended within 3 races.
I imagine like the top 10 at least will all want to pin Mazepin down and do the old-fashioned bus mosh
Bus
on him,
wash. Explain.
where everyone piles on top of him,
Uh-huh.
and while he's been piled on top of, they spray him with Lynx deodorant.
Gives him burnsies.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
bit of an Anthrax reference there.
it's, no, it won't be long. I think the trash will take itself out in this situation.
Yeah, but the problem is it's very much like Lance Stroll, where you can't get rid of him because if he goes, the team Haas goes with him because his old man is propping up the team because Gene Haas has gone, I'm not spending any more money.
Oh, his old man can prop the team up all he wants. The FIA is not going to let him race.
That's very true.
Like, his old man can bitch, but Haas is going to be a one-car team for a few races if that's the case.
Well, they'll replace him, won't they?
Oh, they've probably got a driver somewhere, yeah. Who is their reserve driver? Are they Ferrari system?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They probably have. Oh, that's
Well,
someone-
I know. Alfa Romeo's got 2 test drivers because they've got Robert Kubica
It'll probably be Kubica.
and Callum Ilott.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind seeing Ilott.
Ilott and Schumacher in the same team. Oh, make it happen. Mazepin, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
I don't think you need to tell him. I think he's just going to keep doing what he's doing.
Oh, but I mean, Mazepin, I keep wanting to call him Mazepin. Mazepin, as soon as they announced he was going to be in F1, and then that video of him groping the chick,
Yeah, groping that chick on Instagram.
Gunther Steiner must just be sitting there going, what the hell?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
The ink wasn't even dry on the contract when that happened.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 days after he signed the contract.
Yeah.
And
He
it's
went in
like,
and celebrated
God
with
damn
doing
it. Yep. Daddy got me a drive. I'm so happy. Come here.
He
unsolicited
acts
woman.
like you're a stereotypical Russian gangster. Like
Yeah.
a Russian mafia. Okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, so, back to the race.
Yeah. Enough shitting on him.
So, lap 1, race starts because Lewis Hamilton was on pole position.
Mm-hmm.
And Max had an amazing start. And he didn't mind getting the old elbows out. And,
Again.
you know,
Again.
he's not afraid of Hamilton. Like, he's...
You can't be. You can't be afraid of your championship rival.
Oh, no, but I mean, like, he's really sitting there trying to assert his authority.
Like I said in the Imola podcast, when you said he drove like Senna, because he does, he makes Lewis, for the second time, make the decision into the chicane.
Yeah.
You drive into me, we crash, or you brake, and I get the position. But
Yeah.
there's only one way or the other way.
Yeah.
And Lewis wisely tucked in behind him.
And also, Charles Leclerc got third from Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah, he did. Momentarily.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, like, the Ferrari power unit, like we keep saying, the Ferrari power unit isn't where it needs to be, but it's still getting results.
Yep.
And I read an article this morning. It was an interview with Binotto. So they are actually allowed to upgrade their engine this year, but from next year through to 2025, the engines are locked. They can't upgrade them unless the engine is completely off the Richter scale in terms of crap.
Mm-hmm. So
Like
Haas
2015 Honda.
Oof. Yeah, okay.
Then they're allowed to
Yep.
upgrade it.
Yep.
Or parity, they keep saying. And he said, I want 2022, I want to have the most powerful power unit on the grid. I think they can do it.
Well, the step between last year's engine and this year's engine was pretty good. So if they make another step like that into next year, they won't be far off.
Yeah.
But in saying that, they can do the same thing with the Honda, and they can do the same thing with the Mercedes. But, that's what they get paid big bucks to try and figure out.
But I think the Ferrari aero package is a lot better. And because they've got a better power unit than last year, they are getting closer to something that resembles the Ferrari of old.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or a competitive Ferrari. I'm not saying that the Ferrari is a shitbox. I mean, Ferrari and McLaren, they're ultra competitive at the moment.
They're competitive against each other.
Yeah.
I feel like they've sort of hit the ceiling there. I feel like they're not. It's going to take a lot for them to be on parity with Red Bull and Mercedes still. But they're the next best.
Yeah.
They're absolutely the next best.
And I mean, if Hamilton and Verstappen, knock into each other and take each other out,
There's podiums there.
there's podiums there. There's
Yep.
points, there is points available.
Yep, that's what we said. That's what we said at the start of the year. It's like, Mercedes and Red Bull are definitely going to be there. But if Bottas clonks out, if Verstappen hits Hamilton, Leclerc and Ricciardo and Sainz and Norris, they'll be up on the podium.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I'm just happy it's a really close fight between those two again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for a championship, but it's for 4th and 5th and 6th. It's still just as exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, it's for third in the constructors.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be a straight fight for them.
Yeah. So you've got a straight fight between first and second.
Yep.
A straight fight between third and fourth.
And then the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's looking very interesting.
Mm.
So lap 8, Tsunoda, his engine conks out.
Yep.
And the safety car comes out. Skip forward to lap 11, we got the restart. And Lance Stroll passes Alonso. It was pretty decent move.
Yeah.
So we fast forward to lap 25. I've got to move a bit closer to the microphone, actually. I'm finding every time I look down, I'm like, oh yeah. Lap 25, Max pits, and it's one of those mistakes that Red Bull seems to do when they're under a bit of pressure.
Old mate on the rear left tyre wasn't ready. He was running out of the garage when Max came in.
Yep.
Everyone else was there, and they took the rear left off, and there was no tyre to receive because old mate's just running around the back of the car with this 30-kilo tyre. Ooh, sorry, I fucked up. Did you see?
Sorry, I was just bringing in the shopping.
Did you see Giovinazzi's pit stop?
No, I didn't.
They pulled out the mediums, brand new mediums, and one of them was flat.
Oh, Jesus.
A brand new tyre out of the warmer was flat.
How?
I don't know.
Someone's got to be asking questions at Pirelli.
So they had to take the whole set of mediums back into the garage and bring out another set of mediums so it was a matching set.
I bet
A matching set of Giovinazzi's allocated tyres. Which were, I think they were older tyres. Or maybe they were a new set. I don't know. It was weird. Old mate thumped on the tyre and it's deflated and he's like, well, I've got to
I-
take the
I bet
whole
that-
setback.
I bet that guy will get a big thank you from the team though for spotting that,
Yeah,
because he could have just easily run out, and slapped it on
yeah.
a lap later.
No, he lifted it and he realised it was like, it only weighed like 10 kilos, not 30 kilos. He's like, what's up with this?
What's up with that?
What's up with that? Yeah, so odd. Very odd. I've never seen that before.
And then so Lewis Hamilton assumed the lead,
Hmm.
and then in the very next lap, you could audibly hear Toto Wolff on the blower to Michael Masi saying, "Please give Mazepin the blue flags because it'll ruin Lewis's race."
Yeah. Get him out of the way. He will lose this race for us.
And, you know, I'm not the biggest Hamilton fan, but when that came on, I was just like, yes, Toto, you've called it right. He needs to get that Joker out of the way.
He did.
Pronto.
I mean, he did eventually. I don't know how much of a time he actually lost, but...
And then 3 laps later, Lewis pits.
Hmm.
Next lap, we have an interesting battle. Alonso versus Giovinazzi versus Vettel versus Pierre Gasly. That was very interesting watching 4 cars
Yeah,
going at it.
that was the DRS train.
Yeah,
Yeah. Every time they go down to turn 1, it'd be like 2 or 3 wide. It was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was some good racing. Like, it was some good racing from the mid-pack. You know? Because, I mean, Mercedes and Red Bull and Ferrari and McLaren are playing for the big bucks on the big table. But everyone else is still, you know, they're doing it for pride, they're doing it for points, you know? They're racing just as hard, and sometimes you don't always consider that. But
It's very much like going to a casino at the moment. Like you got Hamilton and Verstappen playing at the $500 poker table.
Mhm.
You got McLaren and Ferrari playing at the $100 poker table. You've got Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, and Alpine. They're playing at the
That'd be the
$10 table, and you got Williams and Haas.
playing in the playground.
They're not allowed in the casino because they're underage.
They're minors. They're outside in the playground.
They're sitting there watching the poker on their phones.
That's it. And they don't know what's going on. They're trying to find the cartoon channel.
They're trying to find Attack on Titan.
That's it. But yeah. But that said, you know, there's still a lot of pride between Alpine and AlphaTauri and Aston and Alpha and George Russell trying to get up there too. You know,
You left out Latifi.
I'm
I'm
not-
sure he's a little.
not bringing up Latifi.
Okay.
I already said I want him out of Formula One. Like, what more do they want? Leave a comment below, Nicholas, if you're listening.
It'd be funny if he did.
Take a sip on your non-alcoholic beer and go, me mate.
I'll fight ya.
I'll fight you.
So lap 42, Lewis Hamilton pits.
Hmm.
Lap 46, Perez passes Ricciardo.
Yes. Crucially, though, Hamilton pits, Verstappen doesn't,
Yeah.
and that cost him the race. They
Yeah.
didn't respond to it, and then by the time they should have responded to it, it was too late.
Yeah, that was a very strange call.
That was the race in that moment.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching it thinking, right, so Hamilton's pit, they need to box Max the very next lap. Like, he needs to come
Yeah,
in.
you got to cover it off.
And instead they went, oh, well, the tyres will last. Actually, my thoughts straight after that were, did Red Bull hire Ferrari's strategist from 2019?
No, I think the problem was actually Bottas. Because Bottas was on a different strategy to Lewis.
Yeah.
And he would have lost track position to Bottas anyway. Because Perez wasn't up there to help him out, obviously.
Yeah.
So, you know, Perez, as I said, you know, the tail gunner position that they need him to be, he's not quite there yet. Because they needed Perez to be pressuring Bottas. So, you know, Mercedes would react to Perez, whatever Perez was doing, in the same way Red Bull would have to react to Hamilton. But
Maybe they could have inadvertently brought Leclerc into it. I mean, I know his car wasn't as fast as them, but Leclerc could have thrown a spanner in the works.
Yeah, but you can't.
Oh, you can't rely on
You
another
can't work
team,
on.
obviously.
Yeah, you can't work with someone that's not in your team.
No,
you
but I mean-
can't. You can't. You know, you need Bottas looking over his shoulder at Perez, and right now he's not.
Yeah.
So all Bottas is doing is trying to throw a spanner in Verstappen's works, while Lewis does a different strategy, and it's lose or lose for Verstappen at the moment. He comes in and loses track position to Bottas, or he stays out like he did, and he eventually gets swallowed by Lewis. It's a two on one up there at the moment, you know, and that's where Christian Horner needs Sergio, and he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, I mean, he is trying to adjust to the team. And really, that second Red Bull car, that is a poison chalice, that car.
It seems to be at the moment, yeah. Well, it has been for a little bit.
You know, since Ricciardo
Gasly.
left, Gasly,
Gasly,
Kvyat,
yeah, Albon.
yeah, it's just been a poison chalice, that car.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
I think that's invariably the problem of building your entire team around one driver and then expecting all the other drivers to fit in with that one driver.
Yeah, and Perez is definitely still struggling with that aspect.
I mean, I understand it though.
Yeah, I completely get it, but it's not what Red Bull want.
Yeah.
Why? It's not what they need. It needs to be, because now Verstappen just gets bullied by Hamilton and Bottas. Bottas does one strategy and forces Verstappen's hand, or Hamilton does the opposite strategy and forces Verstappen's hand, and like Perez isn't up there to try and, you know, get in front of Bottas and slow him down, or try and, you know, make Mercedes blink first, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not
so-
putting any pressure on them.
no, whatever Max does, it's a lose-lose situation, because Bottas will do the opposite or the same, and, you know, one will do the same and one will do the opposite, and
Yeah,
Max will lose track position regardless,
yeah.
which is the problem at the moment for Red Bull.
So we get to lap 50, and Carlos Sainz passes his old teammate, Lando Norris.
It's a very nice move, actually. I quite enjoyed the onboard shot of that move.
Even though Norris did move rather
Did almost,
late.
yeah.
And
airplane
he did get a black and white
Yeah,
flag
he
for
did.
that.
It was very late. Yeah, lucky Sainz has good reaction speed,
Yeah.
because
That shows me, even though now they're on opposite teams, like last couple of years they've been teammates, they're two drivers that do trust each other on the track.
yeah, they do, and they're also super competitive as well.
But like they trusted in each other enough to know, like,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can do something like this.
Yeah.
It's not legal.
They still wave to each other. You notice that on like cool down laps and shit and qualifying. They'll
Yeah.
like drive past and wave to each other. That's cool. I love that camaraderie still. There's still a brotherhood there. But yeah, no, it was very butt clenching, because if that's contact at 320 kilometers an hour, whatever they are at the end of that straight, with front wings going under front tires and
Yeah.
no control, like
It's
that's
very much an airplane crash.
an aeroplane crash. That's fucking dangerous as shit. So Norris was probably lucky to get away with that, to be honest.
So then lap 52, Bottas gets passed by Lewis Hamilton
Yep.
under
charge
team
is on.
orders, but Bottas doesn't exactly make it easy for Lewis.
No, Bottas absolutely ignored the team orders and fought it. Actually cost Lewis 2 or 3 seconds in doing so. Just, he's openly said before that he's over getting ordered around. And
Yeah.
rightly so.
I'll try that sentence again. When that moment happened and he was very reluctant to let Hamilton through, all I could think was 2016 Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, but Bottas doesn't have the same sort of...
He doesn't have the same fire as Nico Rosberg.
I'll say it out loud. Bottas is not championship quality.
No,
He's not a championship
no,
quality
he is a
caliber
number 2.
driver.
He is a number 2. He is a Massa. He
It was
is
a-
a Barrichello.
It's a lose-lose situation for him, because not only does he hold up Mercedes and then Lewis and then draw the ire of his team by not following instructions, he gets overtaken anyway, and he gets outdriven anyway. So he just gets made to look like a fool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, congratulations! Not only did you hold up your teammate when we told you not to hold up your teammate, you tried to fucking goad him and make him, he had to pass you. You didn't let him pass. And then he passed you and he fucking won the race. He was 26 seconds up the road from you anyway. So
And if he was smart, he would have let him go by faster.
Yep.
Stayed on the toe with him.
Yeah.
And then he could have caught up to Verstappen and it could have been a 1-2 for Mercedes.
Yeah, so not only did you try and fuck Lewis around and fail, you got completely outdriven by him anyway.
And he screwed up a possible 1-2 for the team.
Yeah, you probably cost yourself a second spot in doing so. Although he did pit for trying to go for fastest lap, and then Max covered him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then lap 60, Lewis finally passes a very struggling Max Verstappen.
Yeah, these tyres were 40 laps old or something.
Yeah.
I think it was on commentary. I'm trying to remember I don't remember the exact numbers. I think Magnussen last year did 38 laps on the mediums, and by the time Max was passed by Lewis, he had done like 42. So they were well and truly cooked.
35 laps old.
Yeah, they were well and truly cooked and sizzled, and yeah, he had nothing left to fight
Which
with.
that really does show that Red Bull screwed up the strategy, because they should have boxed Max the lap after Lewis came in to try and cover him off.
Yeah, but Valtteri was running mediums by then. Max would have come out behind Valtteri, and I think that's what they were worried about. Valtteri backing him into Lewis, but what do you do? Like
Yeah.
that's what even Max said. He's like, "What am I supposed to do?"
Yeah.
With a lot more swear words in the middle. He's like, "I'm trying to race Lewis, who's coming at me. My tires are cooked. Like, what do you want me to do here?" And then,
Yeah, it was a rock and a hard place.
that's it. 2 silver arrows. That said, though, he came out like 30 seconds behind Lewis and managed to close the gap down by like 15 seconds in 6 laps. So
You mean Lewis came out behind?
no.
Max?
When Max did his second stop to get the fastest lap award, when he put the softs on at the end,
Yeah.
he whacked off about 15 seconds in the last like 6 laps. So
Yeah, but I mean
it's interesting that how much pace did that Red Bull really have?
like Hamilton when he had his second stop, and then after he passed Bottas, he took 20 seconds out in 10 laps or something. Like, it was...
That just goes to show, okay, Lewis had pace, obviously, but Max's tires were gone. It's just a shame. It's just a real shame.
I think the Red Bull was better on the softs, and the Mercedes was better on the mediums.
Yeah. What can you do?
We can move on to lap 62. Lap 62, this was the fun lap. In all the years of watching Formula One, I don't think I've ever seen this before. So you had Alonso versus Stroll versus Kimi versus Gasly versus Vettel, all going into the turn 1.
Yes. That was...
And they had Russell behind them.
Yeah, it was a Formula 2 style. It was just a train of cars
It was
all
so...
trying to get past. But Alonso was the cork in the bottle. Like, he was done. So he just backed everyone into each other, and it was like a Formula 2 race from there.
But it was so good to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, like, these weren't even for championship points.
It was 1 point.
Well, the guy who finished at the head of the table, which was Pierre Gasly, but
The head of the table.
the head of the table.
Acknowledge me.
Well, no one's acknowledging Pierre Gasly. Except
Pierre Gasly.
Except Pierre Gasly, yeah.
And the FIA with that 1 point.
And the FIA with his grid penalty for parking over the yellow line at the start of the race. You didn't see that?
No, I missed that.
Yeah, he pulled into his grid slot and was over the grid. Not only over the yellow line, he was over his grid box line. So he copped a 5-second penalty, which would have been, actually, without that penalty, it'd be interesting to see. He probably would have been ahead of Ocon. I don't think he would have been ahead of Norris, but
Yeah, he would have passed Ocon.
he actually, well, credit to him. He not only did he negate the 5-second penalty, he was also the winner of the inter-team midfield battle. You know,
Yeah.
so with a 5-second penalty, he was the one that emerged with the final crumbs, the 1 point.
Yeah. But it was really interesting watching those cars jostle. And I'm sure even Vettel, Raikkonen, Alonso, they would have enjoyed the fight.
They would have enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, there's enough for points, but it's still exhilarating. You know?
Yeah. It's
Still-
pure racing.
Yeah, like you can. Okay, you're in a shitty car and your tires are a bit old, but you can still. Then it's a test of your racecraft.
Yeah.
You've got these like Vettel and Alonso, 2, 3, 4-time world champions, against these kids, and Kimi with his 1 championship, against these kids, man. You know, Gasly and Stroll coming through, Russell, you know, Giovinazzi. You know, it's the wily old veterans versus the kids, and
Yeah.
you know, and while it's not featured on TV, you know, you don't usually see the Sky cameras focusing on those cars back there. It's still nice to know that there's some proper racing going on back there, and you know the wily veterans are having a run for their money against the kids, and the kids are learning. You know, oh shit, I just overtook Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion. I outfoxed him,
Yeah.
and they're learning. And
Yeah.
they're learning from that, and they're going to be better drivers because of it.
And they're showing their racecraft as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Like it's like, oh, the kids have moves, and this is how you outdrive a champion. But then you know,
And the old guard are also sitting there going, "You think you know everything? Check
yeah,
this out."
yeah. It's like, look, my tires are shot, my car's a piece of shit, but I'll fucking show you a thing or two.
Yeah.
And the kids are like, yeah, the kids will show them a thing or two back, and
It's-
that's all better for the sport.
It's almost like if you took all the cars from the top 8, from Norris all the way to Hamilton,
Yep.
if you took them out and just left everyone else to race,
It'd be an alright race.
this race would have been so much better if they weren't there. It would have actually justified Spain as a half decent track.
Yeah, but as we said, they're playing on the big table for the big prizes.
Yeah.
Because that's where the talent is, that's where the money is, and that's where the good years of development are.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't knock them for that.
And then finally on lap 63, Gasly passes Lance Stroll, but Stroll got a black and white flag for dangerous block there too. He did the same thing that Norris
He
did.
did Orlando in the same spot, the exact same spot down that front straight, yep. So, again, could have been another very nasty aeroplane crash, but wasn't, thankfully.
I would trust Norris more than I would trust Lance Stroll, though.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. But, yeah, actually, I do remember Stroll's quite vividly, and it was a lot more dangerous looking than Lando's.
Yeah.
Lando's, like, sort of moved across on Carlos, but Stroll jerked across, and it was like, oh.
So, now we're going to have a look at the driver's points tally.
Yes.
So I don't have the full list, but I've got the top
10.
10. Yes, top 10. So you've got Hamilton leading the championship on 94 points,
Mm-hmm.
Max Verstappen on 80, Bottas on 47, you've got Lando Norris on 41, Charles Leclerc on 40. It looks like a pretty decent battle. Like, I know Bottas isn't really competing against Norris and Leclerc,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still pretty close between
That,
those three.
that battle's coming up. Like, Norris and Leclerc, Ricciardo and Sainz, with Perez in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll say, I don't think Perez is going to be in the middle of that battle for long.
No.
I think he'll jump him.
Well, he's got to get that car in the fight if
Yep.
he wants to, though.
Yeah.
Ocon on 10 points and then Gasly on 8.
Yes.
Oh, I missed Perez is on 32, Ricardo's on 24, Sainz is on 20, Ocon on 10, and Gasly on 8.
And that's an accurate reflection on. That's pretty much, you could take that list and make it a power rankings list, to be honest. There you go.
And then the team standings, you've got Mercedes leading the constructors on 141, Red Bull on 112, McLaren on 65, Ferrari nipping at their heels on 60, Alpine just a country mile and a bomb threat away on 15 points. AlphaTauri on 10, Aston Martin on 5, and then Alfa Romeo, Williams, and Haas on zip.
That's it. That's the exact reflection of what we've been saying. The championship fight between Mercedes and Red Bull. The contender fight for third place between McLaren and Ferrari. The mid-table fight between Alpine, AlphaTauri, and Aston Martin. And the shitbox derby rally between Alfa Romeo, Williams, and Haas. Although I think that's a bit unfair on Alfa Romeo and Williams. I think they'll have their own scrap with Aston Martin. And then Haas is just in the playground outside.
Yeah.
We don't talk the red-headed stepchild. We don't like to
No,
talk
it's
about. They
it's
get in
in
the way.
detention.
The rolling roadblocks.
It's in detention.
The mobile speed bumps that are. I
Mazepin.
feel Mazepin.
I
Schumacher.
feel really bad for
I
Mick Schumacher.
feel bad for Mick Schumacher because he's got so much talent.
And he is out driving that car.
Yeah.
He's very much like George Russell has been doing with that Williams. He's just out driving the car. And he's been out driving the car for the last 3 years.
What's Mick's next step? Is he going to go straight to Ferrari or is he going to jump to Alfa Romeo? I want to see him in an Alfa Romeo or something more competitive. I don't want to see him go straight into the top team. I want to see him, but I do want to see him jump into something more competitive than a fucking Haas.
It's got to be a Ferrari-powered one, though. So he's either going to stay at Haas or move to Alfa Romeo.
I reckon Kimi retires and he goes to Alfa Romeo. I don't think he's ready for. He's not ready for Ferrari. No way. But
No, and I mean, Carlos Sainz has got a 3-year contract.
yeah, right. So he's got 3 years to get up to speed.
Yeah.
I don't think Haas is the team. Haas is just not the car for him. I want to see his talent shine a bit. He's just not going to get the chance in a Haas.
I think next year it might be a little bit different for Haas because of the new regulations and that they're spending all their money and...
For Mick's sake, I hope so. Mazepin can fuck off. I don't care about
Yeah.
him. I don't care about him or his dad's money. But for Mick's sake, I want to see his talent.
Yeah.
I want to see him, straight fight with George Russell and Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso. I want to see him up there straight fighting with him and I want to see the kid's talent on display.
Yeah.
Because we saw it in Formula 2.
And
Kid can drive.
and he is out driving that Haas. Like,
Yeah.
he really is showing what he can do in a complete pup
It's sort
of
of
a car.
unfair, isn't it? That you have to drive at 120% just to get the car around the track.
Yeah.
Like just to, he's driving probably harder than anyone on the track just because the car's such a dog box.
And he's also trying to make up for his teammate just being an absolute dunce.
Yeah, yeah, So I'd like to see him take the effort and the tenacity that he's got and put it in a better car and let him have a fight for championship points. Because unless that Haas changes next year drastically, it's almost like wasted potential.
I reckon though, if next year's Haas is no good, he will want to move to Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and so will the fans. Like, yeah, the Haas is doing him no favors. He's stuck with the pay driver.
Yeah.
Is he the number one driver in the team?
Mick
No.
Mazepin.
Yeah.
No, Mick Schumacher's the number one
Okay,
driver.
that's good then.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, fuck, you're stuck with next to the rich kid.
Yeah.
It's
No,
the talented kid and the rich kid, and the rich kid's getting all the perks.
yeah. No.
No, that's
Mick,
good.
Mick is the number one in the team.
That's good.
You know, they know what their priorities are. I think Gunther Steiner is not that stupid.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, he is. I mean, fuck, that guy's taking some lumps too. Fuck, that guy's taking some lumps, old Gunther. Like, such a character, such a funny dude, but
Yeah.
I don't know how he...
It's like every time you see him in Drive to Survive, he's either trying to joke over how bad of a joke stuff is gone,
yeah.
or he's on the phone to Gene Haas.
And Gene Haas is tearing strips off him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
sad.
not his fault.
It's fucking sad. Like,
I kind of want Gunther Steiner to move to another team.
yeah. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it, and Mick doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
And the only downside for Haas getting better is that fucking Mazepin's gonna benefit, but
Yeah.
yeah, Formula One's a cutthroat business and it's not fair on a lot of people.
Yeah.
But hopefully
That's motorsport.
that's motorsport. I mean,
Well, that's sport in general.
yeah, you can be the nicest guy, the most tenacious guy. It doesn't mean you're gonna win or get a fair shake of the sauce bottle all the
Yeah.
time.
Well, that's actually a really good way to segue into the last thing we're going to talk about, which is Formula One legend Carlos Reutemann is in hospital at the moment.
Yes.
So we here at the F1 chat want to send our well wishes to Carlos Reutemann.
Yeah, we hope he gets better. Big part of F1 history in the 70s.
Yeah, well, he was the guy who replaced Niki Lauda after Niki Lauda's accident.
Yeah, definitely talented. Was he?
Because apparently Enzo had hired him before Niki Lauda even got to the hospital that day.
That's it. I mean, he's a talented enough driver, and Nicky eventually won his spot back. But
Yeah.
we sad to hear. Sad to
Yeah.
hear. What's next on the agenda, mate?
Well, the next race.
What is the next race? I'll try and find it.
Yeah, because I didn't do that much research.
Unprofessional.
I've done enough research, man.
Oh God.
Monaco.
20th to the 23rd of May. It's the driver parade.
It's Monaco.
Of Monaco.
Woohoo!
So, from one procession to another, in
Hey, at least think of it this way, alright?
10 days and 14 minutes from now.
Just think of it this way. Mazepin's crash is going to be spectacular. It will rival Maldonado's.
You know how we play in the game, and well, actually, we don't anymore because we just straight out skip Monaco.
Because we reenact what we think Mazepin's going to do.
How many front wings can a team bring to a? How many front wings can a real life Formula One team bring to a track?
How many can Mazepin's old man afford?
All of it. Mazepin's old man's about to go broke because he's going to have to bring a truck, a semi-trailer of just wings. It's going to be the transport truck with the two cars in it, and then there's going to be a transport truck behind it with just front wings.
Hey, at least there's this one thing. We're not going to have to worry about track limits.
Oh,
Because the
His
track
worst
limit is just a wall.
that Mazepin will be in.
And Sonoda.
Oh.
Sonoda.
Look, man, I hope Sonoda finds some talent out there, but I can't wait. I'm gonna willingly sit down and watch free practice 1, and I'm gonna count the minutes until he winds up in the wall. Oh, it's gonna be glorious.
Just sit there with a stopwatch. and Sean from the F1 Word, he was talking about Monaco in his weekly news update, and apparently at Monaco, if you show up in a boat, and park your big ass boat, you're only allowed 12 people on a boat due to COVID.
That's all right.
Oh darn, oh phooey! I was so looking forward to taking my ginormous QE2 boat and parking it at Monaco and bringing the entire population of Queensland with me.
That's it.
To Monaco. Oh darn, oh phooey!
Oh, they're the parties you want to go to, though.
With
There's-
Kimmy.
Those 12 people parties up in Monaco. Oof. I reckon there's been some stories on those boats.
Ask Kimmy.
Oh, could you imagine?
Shows up with his boat called One More Toy.
Doesn't need 12 people. It's just himself. Jump off, go for a swim, crash your car, do what Atten did. Just walk back to the hotel. Jump out, jump over the wall, go for a swim back to your boat, pop open the champagne with your hot Miss Finland wife and your kid.
And
That's
your
the life.
mates. Your
That's
mates
the
are
life.
sitting there.
That's the life. So, yeah, We'll be back with the Rolling Street Parade in 10 days.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with our dribble. We hope you enjoyed it.
And we thought we'd change the lineup a little bit, lay out a little bit, and try different
That's
little
it.
things.
Unprofessional, unfiltered, uncensored.
Unscripted.
And we winged it.
Yes.
Every
like
episode.
we always do.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll catch you in 10 days' time. See ya.
Catch you later.